There you go. Move that head, Islam. Don't keep head still. Yes. Work, work, work.
Remember, it's the front kick too. If it's only coming pressure, with front kick, yes. Not too much, because you guys get it. Can you downtown still now? Downtown, you gotta get busy.
Move that head, move that head. Don't just stay in one spot when you do that. Give a little bit of movement. Yeah, that's better. Much better. Much better. Same thing. And don't wait too long to strike.
Go, right hand, yes, yes.
Don't wait too long. 230. You gotta keep that head moving. You gotta keep your hands up back to the side.
Stop the job fast. Not be lazy with the job.
Good, Khabib. Go ahead.
Chin up.
Stop throwing your left out.
Chin down. Hand up nice and tight. Do that head.
Right hand, left uppercut.
Not just from the face, the body too.
I want you to get out of there. Get out of there. Get out of there.
Move, move.
Good, Islam. Stay in the middle. Circle and stay in the middle, Islam. Don't step against the wall.
You can't wait. I mean, you're there. You know, I don't want that. You're there. 2 minutes.
Yes. Pause.
Do it again.
Is Islam Makhachev the GOAT if he beats Ian Garry? Why? Why would that possibly be a discussion? Well, I'll tell you why, because he is currently tied. Islam is currently tied for the longest win streak in UFC history. If he beats Ian Garry, he will have the longest win streak in UFC history. And I got to tell you, I must tell you in fairness, and Islam was very rude to me. But I still got to tell you, weight classes matter to me. When they started talking about the greatest pound-for-pound fighters of all time, it used to frustrate me, and I go, well, it's between Dan Henderson and Kenny Florian. That's it. And people would push back and say, why would you say that? And I'll say, because Dan Henderson and Kenny Florian are the only two guys in history to change weight classes and succeed. They're the only two guys to actually cover the spread. So instead of sitting around and guessing about who could do what at different weights when they didn't have the courage to even try, let's give it to the two guys that did, and that was my contention. Now, I tell you that because I feel that I must apply that to Islam. Beating Ian Garry or having the longest run in MMA history don't make you the GOAT.
The sky's the limit as to how far he's going to go. My opinion is I think he's bordering on close to being the greatest of all time. You know, this win, hopefully we get by this one and then one more. Then I don't know if there's going to be any question on who's the greatest fighter of all time. I think that Islam Makhachev should be considered in that picture, you know, in my opinion. To my point exactly, you know, it's kind of hard not to put him in that conversation. Look at all the records he holds. If he wins this one, you know, which we can't say we're going to win 100% because nothing's 100%. Ian Garry is a tough customer, but I feel we're going to win, and I feel Islam's going to dominate. But when that happens, like I'm expecting he's going to be in that picture. Everybody's going to be saying that about him, and they should, rightfully so. He would have proven it, you know, by his performance on August 15th. He's going to prove.
But yeah, I just think that Islam, as good as he's looked, I don't know if we'll see a finish in this one. I mentioned it off the top. Ian Garry is the biggest fighter that Islam's fought in his career. So I do wonder how he's going to deal with that height and reach advantage for Garry. So it might take him a little bit too. That's another reason why I'm not leaning a quick finish in this one, because Gary's going to be pretty tough to figure out as far as the height and reach and all that. I will argue too that Garry really hasn't fought a lot of wrestlers / grapplers. Obviously, Bilal's known for his wrestling and grappling. Shavkat's known a bit for that too. But like, you know, Bilal is like a much older version of Islam and obviously not as skilled in my opinion. So, Garry didn't seem to have any problems with that. And Shavkat, again, I thought Garry looked good in that fight. Shavkat, he caught him at a time when I know Shavkat was injured in that fight, but seemed to hold his own okay and ended up losing a decision in that one. Shavkat couldn't finish Garry either. So that's another reason why I think Garry could potentially go
I got to go with Islam Makhachev. I mean, I can't pick against him. I feel like I could just see Ian Garry. I don't think Ian Garry gets destroyed. Like, I just don't think that's going to happen. I do not believe that from everything I've seen. And maybe it's just different with Islam, but I do think Islam will win, but I think we'll walk away from it going, man, Ian Garry is really good. Like, he is good. He is championship level, just not right now with Islam around. You know what I mean? Like, Islam is just a one-of-one fighter. I really believe that. I mean, every time I kind of forget, I just go back and watch some like Islam title defenses. The Charles Oliveira fight when he won the belt, I just rewatched that today. Man, it's just, I'm like, I just know this guy is.
Islam finishes people. Islam bounce people head off the wall. Islam submit people. You know, he's gonna do what Islam want him to do in the fight. Islam is gonna hunt him like a deer who's a hunter, who's a 50 caliber machine gun. And after that, he's gonna put a bullet in his head, and he's gonna put him out. You know what I'm saying? Because he's gonna run like a deer, and he's fast. He can run. But when the last time we see him knock somebody out? You know, the last time he won a fight, he was running for his life against Parata when Parata started whooping on him, right? I think he's there because Islam smashed everybody. I think it was other people more deserving than him. But guess what? He talked to himself into this title shot, like Kobe did, like McGregor did, like and what happened? They all got put away, and Islam is going to put them away.
I think the odds, because of the style, favors Makhachev probably. Because of the the styles. I think Islam Makhachev have maybe more ways to win the fight. So if I'm just thinking rational, according to the odds, I think it favors Makhachev. But Ian Garry definitely has all the chance also on his side to do it. He's a very good striker. He's very long. He's a great grappler as well. But he need, I think, to find a way to keep the fight standing, you know, like, and to use his style to his own advantage. But Islam Makhachev is, stylistically, is a freaking nightmare to fight for anyone. He's, I think, right now, the best pound for pound on the planet.
Islam Makhachev is the favorite in his welterweight title defense, but not everyone thinks it will be easy. Many experts believe he will win, but some think Ian Machado Garry has the skills to make it tough. Well-known MMA figures like Michael Bisping and Chael Sonnen have explained why this fight might be closer than fans think.
Yeah, well, I think Islam would have to be a strong favorite, but I think Ian's going to give him some problems because Ian's a tall guy. He's got great jiu-jitsu. He's got great striking. Yeah, I think Ian Garry's going to give Islam a lot of problems.
Okay, but is that enough problems to defeat him, or do you think Islam still takes him?
Yeah, I think Ian Garry can win. I think he can walk away with it, to be honest.
Islam. I don't see anybody who can stop him right now in this division.
I think it's a really good fight, and I think Ian is going to surprise a lot of people with how talented he is and how skillful he is. Actually, I trained with him for the Carlos Prates fight, so I'm excited to go see him perform as well. And I think he gets it done. So we'll see.
I think Makhachev. Makhachev is bigger, and he's stronger. I think Makhachev. Makhachev is bigger, and he's stronger, and like he got more power. He gonna take him down and hold him and submit him. Yeah.
I think it's hard to count on Islam right now. He's just so dominant. I don't see Ian having a lot of options to winning that one.
Man, it's very interesting to see how this fight plays out because one of the only loss that Ian Garry has been against a real tough grappler when he fought Shavkat. So seeing him going against another tough grappler, I can see that being where he struggles. But one of the things that
I think Shavkat brought to the table that Islam doesn't necessarily bring is just the sheer size difference. Like Shavkat is also a lankier opponent as well. Like he doesn't allow for a guy to be able to stay on the outside and kind of pick him apart. He's also a really tall, lanky welterweight in himself. So to play the long game and fight on the outside is something that is going to be extremely difficult to do against a guy like Shavkat, where I honestly think Ian Garry may have an advantage in the striking and the range department going into this fight against Islam. Islam does very good in the pocket, does very good when he's able to close distance, but Ian Garry is very good at being able to fight on the outside and avoid his opponents being able to close distance on him. I mean, I've experienced it firsthand, so I think that's something that's going to play a pretty big factor going into this fight for Ian Garry. If he can make
Travis Herrick knew without a doubt that Islam Makhachev would win the fight in defending his welterweight belt against Ian Machado Garry. Although he accepted that there were some aspects to Garry's game that could give him a chance to compete in the fight, Herrick felt that Makhachev's experience, championship-level credentials, and well-rounded skills would prove too much for the duration of 5 rounds. Herrick made reference to Islam's undefeated record, his development as a striker, along with his excellent wrestling, and how Islam dictates where the fight takes place.
In that fight. Last week, we took a look at the case for how Ian Garry could beat Islam Makhachev. I explained his path to victory, what he would have to do, and then gave my percentage that I think that's going to happen. But in today's video, I'm going to explain what I actually think is going to happen with Islam Makhachev beating Ian Garry and how I think he's going to do it. So in this video, I will give my exact breakdown and prediction for how I think Islam Makhachev defends the welterweight championship for the first time in the UFC. And if you haven't already, you might as well hit subscribe. We're on the road to 5,000 subscribers. If you like UFC, which I assume you do if you clicked on this video, we upload 2 to 3 videos every single week. And if you join now, next year when we're a big channel, you can look back and say you were here from the start. But let's get right into it. And our sponsor, really quickly, is Sleeper. If you want to place UFC predictions or picks, you could use Sleeper. If you use code Travis, they will give you a 100% deposit match, anywhere from $10 to $100. So feel free to run that up if you want. Your guys' money, you do what you want. But let's get right into it. The first guy we're going to look at is...
Herrick also gave his reasons for rejecting the belief that Islam's grappling would be neutralized by Garry's height, reach, and movement abilities. He drew parallels with the arguments made prior to Makhachev's bout with Jack Della Maddalena, in which the assumption was made that the bigger welterweight would neutralize the grappling of Islam. In Herrick's opinion, such fears were proved to be groundless at that time, and they would be repeated in his case as well. Herrick thought that Garry could withstand a couple of takedowns in the beginning, but in the end, Islam would dominate with his grappling.
Not just saying that, oh, Makhachev's going to win. I think it's going to the ground. And something that I stood firm on last year when Islam Makhachev moved up at UFC 322 for his first welterweight fight against JDM, Jack Della Maddalena, for those of you who don't know, people were saying, all right, Makhachev's moving up a whole 15 pounds for a weight class. You know, it's first time up at 170. He's not going to be as big as the other guys. He's going to have trouble wrestling them and holding them down and imposing his will like he was able to do to basically everyone at 155. And I said that was rubbish. That's false. Anyone who's saying that doesn't know what they're talking about. People are saying JDM's going to defend the takedowns like he was able to do against Bilal Muhammad, another welterweight champion who was a good wrestler. And then because JDM could do it there, and because Bilal was a good wrestler, and JDM's bigger than Makhachev, that JDM could do that to Makhachev and get the win. I told you guys that was false from the start, as everyone on YouTube seemed to be trying to have a crafty pick with JDM here. And I was right, and that's exactly what I think is going to happen here. Everyone's talking about, oh, Ian Garry this, Ian Garry that. He's smart. He's so much bigger. Look at the size and reach advantage. And he's a fast striker. Deny the takedowns. He just beat Bilal, who's a good wrestler. Doesn't this all sound oddly similar to the lead up for JDM versus Islam Makhachev? So I'm going to tell you guys the same thing here. I think, yeah, Ian Garry could defend some takedowns, maybe. But it's a 25-minute fight. Islam Makhachev, the best fighter in the world, is going to land those takedowns.
Ali Abdelaziz also dismissed Garry's confident pre-fight comments, saying they were nothing more than promotion. He claimed Garry talks big because he needs to convince both himself and the public that he belongs in the title fight. In terms of pure ability, Abdelaziz argued there was a massive gap between the two fighters, insisting Garry couldn't match Makhachev's level in any area. He pointed to Islam's finishing ability compared to Garry's many decision victories as further evidence that the champion operates on a completely different level. In his prediction, Abdelaziz expected Makhachev to break Garry down and eventually finish him. He drew a parallel between the sport and hunting, saying that no matter how much Garry moved around, he could not outrun the hunter, and that his moves were only going to cause the unavoidable to happen sooner. Abdelaziz claimed that Garry got his shot at the title by boasting about it more than by actually earning the #1 contender status through his actions. Like other challengers who have fallen before great champions, Garry too would meet his downfall. The impact that Islam had on him within the gym proved how well advanced his knowledge of MMA is. Javier Mendez was impressed by how Makhachev is always helping his fellow fighters in the corner, analyzing sparring sessions, and giving them the necessary advice like how Khabib Nurmagomedov used to do. As stated by Mendez, Islam has not only become a champion, but a leader with an ability to analyze opponents. That same tactical mindset is why Mendez believes Islam is well prepared to solve the problems Ian Garry presents and retain his welterweight championship. Mendez believes Islam Makhachev's greatest advantage over Ian Machado Garry isn't just his wrestling or striking, but his ability to understand fights at an elite level. Mendez described Islam as a fighter with extraordinary fight IQ, explaining that he often understands adjustments before his coaches even have to tell him. That intelligence is why Mendez has so much confidence in Islam heading into another title defense. Against a smart and technical opponent like Garry, Mendez expects Makhachev's decision-making, composure, and ability to make the right reads in real time to separate him from the challenger. Islam Makhachev also did not take kindly to Garry's pre-fight talk and was not impressed with his interviews. According to him, Garry did not look comfortable in front of the cameras, and he jokingly added that it appeared as if someone was putting words into his mouth. As per Makhachev, Garry goes overboard with his villain routine during the fight week, but expects him to stop promising once he steps into the cage. He also pointed out that many opponents have predicted knockouts before facing him, only to abandon those plans when the fight actually begins. Even though he will be competing in America, Makhachev says that he has the support of the people at UFC 330. Islam says that Garry has gotten on the bad side of many people and pointed out that he is already feeling the support of the American fans. He further explained that he is having fun as a welterweight more than when he was a lightweight due to the easy weight cut, which has made his training sessions easier. James Lynch also explained why Garry still deserved respect despite entering as the underdog. He pointed to Garry's high striking output, solid takedown defense, and the fact that he has never been finished in his professional career. However, Lynch warned that those statistics become much less meaningful against someone with Makhachev's elite wrestling and grappling. He expected Islam to eventually impose his game, control the action on the mat, and steadily take rounds away from the challenger. In the end, Lynch ended up selecting Islam Makhachev as the winner through a decision rather than by finishing his opponent. This is because of Garry's durability and size, in addition to good defense that would make sure he makes it through all 5 rounds. However, Lynch was unsure if the Irishman had the knockout ability or submission game to really pose any danger to the champion. Despite this, Garry would certainly have his moments, but Lynch was certain that Makhachev's strength and skill set would help him retain his title. This was what some of the top people in MMA had to say regarding the upcoming fight between Islam Makhachev and Ian Machado Garry. Though many believe that Makhachev will retain his belt, others feel that Garry is capable of shocking the MMA community by pulling off an upset win. With a combination of Islam's superior wrestling skills and championship experience matched against Garry's physical stature, mobility, and fight IQ, this has become one of the fights of the year. The more it gets towards fight day, the more diverse these opinions are becoming, and this just serves to create more hype about this upcoming title fight. There is no doubt in my mind that these two men definitely have something to prove, and that when the doors to that cage open, there is not going to be any mercy shown by either of them. But what are your thoughts on the matter? Will Islam Makhachev remain unbeaten, or will Ian Machado Garry take the title?